In this video, we will see AWS Cognito and a hands-on lab for the usage of Cognito. AWS Cognito lets you to add user sign up, sign in, and access control to your web and mobile application quickly and easily. So why we need AWS Cognito? Say for example, you set up your mobile application or a user interface application. For this, you need to design your application, and then you need to create a user pool. You need to set up an identity provider. These things you need to take care. If you use AWS Cognito, it will take care of the authentication and the authorization part. So you don't want to worry about that, and you can straight away concentrate on your application itself. It provides a secure identity store that can scale to millions of users, and you don't have to have any infrastructure behind. AWS will take care of that. And it supports major social identity providers like Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, and you can integrate with your SAML identity providers also. It supports multi-factor authentication and encryption, data at rest, and in transit as well. And if you want to control any of your AWS resources, you can you easily integrate with Cognito to access your AWS resources from your application, and it will easily integrate with your application. This is how the AWS Cognito works. When a user logs in or signups, he will get access to your web application, the Cognito user interface. You can customize it based on your needs, or you can have it from your any web hosting URL. And then for the authentication, it accesses your Cognito user pool and gets the authentication. And for the authorization, you can use any of your identity providers. Here, you can use the Cognito identity pool also. When everything is successful, you will get access to your IAM roles. With that IAM roles, you can access the AWS resources, which are the resources which is provided the roles based on that. So this is how the authentication works. When the user sign up, it will redirect it for the authorization and gets the information. When the user provides the credentials, he will be provided with an access token for the authorized actions. In this demo, we will create a user pool based on the AWS Cognito and a Cognito identity pool for the authorization. We will set up app settings based on that. When the user logs in and gets successful authentication, then it will be redirected to my YouTube channel. We will test the user interface, sign up the user, and test this application now. Now I am in my AWS console. Let's search for Cognito. So we will go to Cognito. The Cognito has two different divisions like manage user pools and one is manage identity pools. Now we will go to manage user pools. We will create a new user pool. I can create from here. So I provide a name like app user pool. Okay, and I will put review defaults. If you see here, we can see go through. So do you want to use how do you want to users to sign in, like with the username, email, phone number? You can provide from here. What are the attributes you needed for the sign in? You can provide it here. If you want to customize any attributes also, you can provide from here. These are the password policies. What are the password length? These details you can provide from here. How do you want to users to sign up? You can provide here. If you want the users to sign up themselves, you have to put this. Or like you create a user pool and only the specified user can log in, you have to select here. And the temporary password expiry, you can provide here. This is for the MFA and any verifications. I don't have any MFA, and the email is the recovery method. And how to verify the attributes, I have given my email. So these all things, if you want an SMS, you can provide from here. Now I don't provide that. Any message authorization, say if some example, any specific messages you need, or if you want to configure from SES, you can provide Now I'm using default Cognito. If you want to have any specific message also, you can provide here. These are tags. And if you have any want to remember any user devices, you can provide here. App client, we will set up later. The trigger for if any specific action is done, if you want your Lambda function to trigger some actions, you can provide here. Now I will go with the default and create a user pool. Now this is my user pool. I've created it. This pool ID will be used later. Now will go to my app client and create an app client. I say app client as a name. So these are the details, the token expiration time, the token details, these things you can mention here. Now I'm going with the default straight away. So I'm going to create an app client. This will be used later. Next step is we can go to identity pools and create an identity pool. I will say app ID pool for the name. Here you need to select your authentication providers. If you have any other authentications, you can select like Amazon, Apple, any other things you can. Now I'm going to select Cognito itself. Here I will go here and get my user pool ID. I will mention here and the app client ID. You have to take it from here and you have put it here. Now I have created a user pool. This is for the IAM rule to access the AWS resources. Now I have created an identity pool for this user pool and the app client. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an app integration. So here I will select my app client settings here. I'm going to use a Cognito user pool. So I'm going to select here and you need to provide your URL here. I'm going to provide my YouTube channel URL here. When the user logs in, he will be automatically redirected to here. The sign out URL also, I'm providing the same thing. For authentication, I'm selecting authorization code grant. Here, I'm going to use email as that. So I'm going to select OpenID and profile and going to save the changes. For this, you need to have a domain. Here, you can use the Amazon Cognito domain, which is a default, or you can use your own domain. If you are own domain, something like that, you can use that own domain and configure here. I'm going to use the default domain now. I'm going to use name, check whether it is available. No, I don't have that. Maybe I will check this. No. Oh, sorry. I have given a capital letter here, so that's the problem. See, okay, this domain is available now. So I'm going to save that. If you want to customize your UI, you can do it here. Based on if you want to insert any logo or anything, you can select from here. Now I will go to my UI and will launch it. Okay, if I launch it, I'm going to be my Cognito user interface page. I don't have any user now, so I'm going to set up a new user. So I give a username as test user. I will provide my email ID here. Password for that. Okay. Now I have signed up and it's asked for the verification code. When I go to my email ID, I can get the verification code. Okay, now I have got the verification code from my email. So I'm going to log in. Okay, if it is successful, it is directly redirecting to my YouTube channel. This is how the user logs in, authentication or authorization works. If I want to set up these things, I need to develop an application with the user pool and the identity provider, these things. Now, within 5 minutes, I have set up a, UI straight away. I can even customize more my UI. Now I have a UI which have an authentication to log into my YouTube channel. Same wise, if you want to customize also, I will try to customize my URL. Okay, I will select any specific. Okay, I have selected a simple logo to customize my channel. I have saved it. Now I will try to connect that. If you see, I have got my logo. If I want, I can sign in straight away. So see, I have signed in. If I want to create a new user, I can create a new user from there.